They say that the moon whispers. It is a warning to those who know its glare. A silent, invisible pulse of dread that pushes against you like waves of ancient currents that run ashore. But beware, for when the skies turn crimson red, something dark, something sinister will emerge from within. A new version is born, for when the moon bleeds red, so will you. Let's begin.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a movie that not many people know about, and I'm letting you know. It's called Mega Blood Moon, The Freelancer, which is quite a title, let me tell you. But this is a movie that has been out since February 25th, and not many people know about it. One of the people that worked on the movie, the director, the star, actually reached out to me to let me check this movie out, and I quite enjoyed it, actually. It's a indie film done about the end of the world scenario, and there's so much more to it. So what is it all about? Mega Blood Moon, The Freelancer, is essentially about a guy who is arriving early to work on his last day. The studio in which he works discovers that while nobody is in the office today for some odd reason, something else may be. Under the light of the mysterious Mega Blood Moon, he'll find out that his last day is going to be a fight to the death. So yeah, this is a movie that has a lot going on, and it's a very big concept done on a very small budget. It is all about the atmosphere, and they have plenty on offer here, let me tell you, which is very impressive. And this is from a person's first feature film. They've done short films in the past, of course, by director and actor who stars in this film as Ben. His name is Ben Floss. He had a writing partner for this, Anthony Del Monte, who kind of fleshed out the story of this concept that Ben Floss had. Now, the crazy thing about this story is that there's more to it. You start to see people in the background. It does a really good job of you seeing something, but the character in the story may not. So it adds this element of that real, like, thick atmosphere, like something bad is about to happen. There's little things that happen in the story that can sort of lead to kind of explanations as to what the movie's about. They do a pretty thorough job of doing a lot of like little tiny touches to this movie, all done on a small, very tiny, like whatever you got in your pocket kind of filmmaking. But it's shot well. It's paced well. It's only about an hour and 12 minutes, which personally, I gotta say, I'm really fond of these days, even though I know some movies have to be an hour and 30 minutes to be able to be in some sort of level. But I really like independent films that go for this about an hour and 12 minute mark. I think it gives you enough for the viewer to kind of want to stick around just in case. It's not like your typical movies that are, you know, millions of dollars, let's say. This is a movie that did so very much on very, very little. And I don't think I'm really spoiling anything in the trailer, kind of leaning into, I would say something like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's like an element of the end of the world stuff going on, which I absolutely love. There's some of my favorite films in the world are like these like end of the world scenarios. And I love that because it's really thrilling and it makes you wonder what's going on. And they don't really clue you in this movie. But like, again, done on a very small budget. And it is an impressive film for what they did. And I think it's something that to showcase, hey, I did this on nothing. I'm impressed. I was engaged while watching the movie. I wouldn't put the comedy first, but you know, it's like those movies that kind of mix a little bit of comedy into the thriller, which some people are cool with and I personally love, but Some people just don't know. They're like, is it supposed to be funny or is it supposed to be, calm down. This is a good mix. I think it leans definitely more into the horror and this guy and his life and him being stuck at work, crazy thing that attacks him. There's other characters that are involved. They do some other camera tricks and stuff, and I think it actually works really well in this movie. What they did here, acting-wise, I think is fairly decent for, such a small rush job. When I say rush job, and the reason I say that is because this story and this whole concept is based on a sort of writing exercise that the creators of this movie actually made up on the road one time in like 2020 during the middle of the whole, crisis in the world. And they decided to come up with a story that would include the mega blood moon. You'd have to make it within 70 to 90 minutes, and you would have to have the moon explode in some aspect by the end of the movie, and you just use your imagination to use the red blood moon as an example of whatever is going on. You can make whatever story you have, but when you write end, that's it. No changes, no nothing. Do so thinking when you're writing the script that you're going to be doing a lot of really no money kind of decisions. It really gets you and forces you to write in a way that is affordable, which is very hard for a lot of people because our imaginations are expensive. Which is funny because this is a really interesting, I thought that was a very cool idea for filmmakers to do. I have done similar things. I've had friends in the past when they went to art school, they would loop me in on these 24-hour film challenges where we would draw items that they would have to put in the movie or a subject matter, and you'd pull it out of a hat and you'd have to make a quick film about that. Plot it all out, do everything really quick. It's just an exercise, a creative exercise. And I know I'm getting a little off the subject here, but I used to do an audio podcast where we would do grave plots, which I still love and want to continue to do, where we would pull a name out of a crystal skull with diamond eyes, which has seen better days because it's dusty. But we had you guys fill out fake horror movie titles and we would draw it and then come up with the entire story on the show. In 45 minutes, we would then add segments of sound design where it would make it seem like you're in the movie and just moments that we liked and, atmospheric and all that other stuff. I'll put a link down for the grave plots below, but the reason I'm telling you all of this is because I feel like it's important for you guys as a viewer to know what they did to go into this film so that your expectation levels are a little bit more on the reasonable, because not just because this is a indie film or that it's a bad film, it's an impressive film that's indie, if that makes sense. Nobody's talking about this. There's very few reviews online. It's not going to be for everybody because some people, they're not used to seeing independent films and they're going to want something that's an 8 out of 10 on acting every time. But if you're open to a concept that I think is pretty interesting, which I love end of the world scenarios, and it's a good movie to support if you want to support indie filmmaking. Plus, if you want to go to the website, I'll include a link to it. They did not pay me to do it. They don't have enough money to pay me, guys. Get a clue for those of you who think I'm shilling or something. So trust me when I say I really enjoyed this film. It's a good film. It's actually really well done for what they had. And I think you should check it out. I would say on an honest scale, I would say 6.5, maybe even a 7 out of 10, somewhere in that. I think most of you will feel comfortable and enjoy. Some of you might love this film just because of the ingenuity that they did in it. I mean, obviously the director is also the star of the movie, which, that saves you a lot of fucking work and time and effort and everything because the vision. Thank you guys for reaching out to me, Ben, for this movie. I really appreciate it. I would love to hear what you guys think about this story. Do you like stuff that's end of the world with body snatchers? Does that appeal to you? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you think. And if you're going to check this movie out, it's up now for $4 to rent on Amazon Prime. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for coming by. And as always, long live the void.